guys? And welcome back to the Chop Shop. And working on a lightning episode, but not what we're dinking around with today. We've got Cadillac pushed off the side. It's about as far as I can go with it at the moment. Again, working on the lightning, but I got to dinking around with the mini bike, kind of cleaning up the frame, kind of getting it ready for paint. And then I was just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of boring. So I think it needs some spider webs. I think maybe a little something like that. Maybe a little something right here. Maybe a little something right there. It's just kind of boring. It's -6 outside. Need to get my creative juices flowing here a little bit. And for whatever reason, I have a thing with spider webs. See, you got the spider bike, which at one point came out of a dumpster. We got Sandy's spider web tailgate. So apparently we just spider web stuff around here. But not quite sure exactly how I want to attack it yet. I mean, obviously I can just weld them straight to the frame, much like spider bike. But I was also kind of kicking around the idea, I think I want to paint the frame, and again, I'm just kind of brainstorming here. I think I want to do the frame white and maybe do like a metal flake blue of a sort on the tank. I haven't decided yet. But I think I might want to paint the spider webs to match the tank, which would be super pain in the dick because, I mean, you'd have to mask it all off or whatever. But I'm thinking maybe make these removable. You see I got these little washers on here, so I could just do some self tappers. This is just a random spider web I made that I had laying around. I think I was using it as a plant holder at the old house actually. But kind of thinking if I just did some washers on the frame with some self tappers, the spider webs would be removable, so I could paint them and then just screw them on after I had the frame and webs painted. So I'm gonna do a little bit more brainstorming and thinking here, and we'll see what I can make happen. Speaking of brainstorming, and it would be a lot of effort, but it will also be really cool. I'm thinking about using this as a template and then otherwise ditching it and actually doing like the fender completely out of spider webs. I probably don't have enough rod to do it. It's got some 1/4-inch rod, and then I'm not opposed to even using and or sacrificing that if I have to, but this is going to take quite a bit of rod, just like your mom does.
How rude.
If I want to do that, so might not get to it today, we'll see. But I mean, if I do the rear fender, that means that I also have to do the front fender. But see how it goes, so stay tuned to just kind of see what we end up knocking out. I'm gonna do some brainstorming, maybe even get a little section of it done somewhere, and we're just gonna go from there. Here's where brainstorming currently has me, guys. I just drilled a couple holes and I got some self tappers with some washers. I do wish the washers were a larger diameter, but went ahead and bent me a rod to approximately the arch of the frame, and then I just got some hose clamps holding it in place. And I'm gonna try and see if I can get some welds on these washers, but I'm gonna have to take the screws out to do that. Man, I wish those were just a little bit bigger, but it's kind of where we stand at the moment. Okay, so I was not happy because of the size of my washers. My plan wasn't quite working out right, so what I ended up doing was just cutting some washers in half and basically using those as little brackets to attach to the frame. So the hose clamps are gone and our initial hoop is there. So now we just need to do one little center guy, which I'm gonna have to kind of like arc out because the engine does stick out at least like this far. So this first web is gonna have to kind of have an arc to it, and then we'll just keep moving on from there. Boom! What do you guys think about that? I can dig. It's removable. Very clearly a spider web. And probably throw the engine in there real quick. Make sure that it does still clear. Fuck yeah. You know about that? It's about perfect, huh? Now looking back at it, I don't think... I'm going to have to turn it around to make sure, but this side sticks out way more than this side. This side sticks out past the frame low because the tank, this side sticks up high. And I just think, I don't mind that little bit of bubble there, but that's going to be a lot to clear that. I guess, does our tank fit? Does our tank still fit? I can't pick it up with one hand.
I have these tiny hands.
We might have to space it up if anything. Did that just fit on there? Is that on there? It says back. So it's sitting in the back. It's about a 1/2 inch of clearance I'm missing in the front. Doesn't really bother me. If anything, I'll just shim it up. I like it. I like it. What you doing, dum-dum? You went out there playing in that snow. Oh, your slobber is frozen. So guys, it is currently -6 and been straight up hammering us with snow, and he couldn't care less. Yes, you go, bull. You're a big dumb one-eyed dog. You're the best dog ever. He's the best dog ever. Anyways, speaking of the snow, I volunteer for the highway department in plow said snow. So I'm getting ready to get cut off for the night. I think what I might do real quick is just pull my screws out, since this is removable, and these angles should be relatively close, and just kind of see if it clears over here. Oh, let's just see. In case you remember, guys, or you are new here, a little bit about this bike. This bike was in someone's scrap pile, and the frame was broke here and here, so this rod was completely snapped off. It was also broke here, so we've since gusseted it, or sleeved it, welded everything back together, gusseted on both sides, and then plated it up here. So in theory, this bike's never going to break again. Obviously, I'm putting a lot of effort, so I just took the engine off. The point of doing this is to see if the spider web cleared the engine, dummy.
Is because you're a dumbass.
Sit approximately there-ish. Oh yeah, this is not becoming anywhere near clearing. Ah, man, that's not horrible, huh? I can probably still make something to clear that. I'm gonna have to, huh? It's really not gonna be that much more of an arc, really. I mean, it's only... It might need to be an inch wider. I'm gonna have to do it, aren't I? Can't do one side, not the other side, huh? That'd look kind of dumb. That's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Are we lined up in the motor? Motor feels pretty good. Oh yeah. That's not that bad. What do we got here? 2 inches. Yeah. So I'm only gonna have to basically bring the centerpiece out 2 inches wider, and maybe I'll just curve it a little more than I did on this side. Just do the same thing. Look at that. How nice is that? How nice is that? That's removable, so I can paint it and really weld the back half of it and everything. That turned out nice. Whew. Okay, guys. So it is next day. It is -7. I worked all night, and I want to make some bike progress. The def tank in my dually is froze, so I can't fill it. Also, the battery is dying, and I'm pulley making noise. So I need to get the lightning off a jack stand so I can pull it back, get the truck in here and let it thaw out. While it's thawing out, we're gonna make some bike progress. But right now, my hands are numb. I can't feel anything. All right, guys, so the big old Yee mobile is in here, and right back to work on the bike. And I've kind of gotten distracted by, I'm just brainstorming like this whole idea is. I'm thinking about doing some like square tubing like a dual exhaust sticking out right here. But I'm kind of using the stock, or not the stock exhaust, just the one that was with it that clearly needs redone. That's kind of a mock-up on how I'm going to tie in, but look, I was curious of why there was a hole drilled right here. What the fucking thing? That's rubber. No wonder they drilled the hole, because this thing is literally plugged up. Like, all the way through, there's rubber in this fucking exhaust. Like, I am just blown away. A little backstory on this thing. I got this bike out of a scrapyard. Or not a scrapyard, it was a scrap pile. But the previous owner of it was just a giant douchebag. And the more that I tear this thing apart, the more I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, we got screws coming through that poke you in your ass. When they broke the frame, the guy had literally just stuck a socket in here thinking the socket was going to hold it together. Just, this entire thing was just, the guy's an idiot. Anyway, I just thought I would show you guys that. Like, how, what the fuck? What the fuck? Douche.
Everybody knows you never go full retard. What do you mean?
There's some upsides to the snow and the cold, I guess. Doesn't take long to cool that down. Boom. So this is just gonna go right through like that. I wish this freaking exhaust wasn't full of freaking rubber. Maybe I can sacrifice like a bike frame or some bike handlebars or something, but like this thing almost runs like where I want it to. If I grab maybe even the other piece I cut off, I could basically just do that. But they're full of freaking, I mean, it's not gonna be hard to get that rubber out of this one. Besides, I mean, I can cut off his booger welds. My welds are actually looking like actually kind of decent for once. Let me see. God, I mean, look at that though. Like the amount of effort it's gonna take to make that not look like shit. I gotta have something I can cut apart. I got to. Old jack handle, maybe? I mean, it's crush bent, but I think with some finagling, I can get it to go. I think we might be able to make this work. Yeah! That worked out alright. Now we just gotta bend this another piece to come through right here so we have actual duals. Boom! Chucking along here. So I think that's just gonna go in there. And that's gonna line up approximately. We'll get in there. You just fit just a minute ago. Close enough. So we got something like that going on. A few quick tacks on there before I finally burn it in. Will it? Oh, are we gonna get lucky? Oh, ooh, it's tight. Ooh, oh, it fits. It fits. Dope. Okay. So I don't know how I'm gonna trim them yet. Maybe cut them flush. I gotta figure out a seat situation here too, but it fits, so it's removable. And if I so choose to use this fender again, I can. That worked out. You would have thought I planned that. I sure shit didn't. It's a bit big and dramatic. And I'm going to have to figure out some sort of brackets or something, because I'm sure that's going to vibrate. So we will address that at another time. Not today. They move back and forth, but I mean, this isn't bolted down. But I dig. I want to hear it. Temptation is getting the best of me. I want to hear it. That's so extra. See if we can get this thing fired up. Dope. That sounds all right. Actually kind of sounds like a healthy, like 2-stroke dirt bike. So I will take that. Almost has like a deep tone to it, almost like a chambered Flowmaster muffler. I'm actually quite happy with the way that sounds, and the fact that it fits. So I guess now that I got distracted from doing spiderwebs to do dual exhaust on my mini bike, let's get back to doing some spiderwebs. I think I want a little something right here, a little something right here, and then we will jump around to the other side. One more set done. Kind of wrapped it around the tail just a little bit, but I dig it. Threw the engine back in. I was kind of curious if I did one right here, if it would get in the way at all. I don't think it is. I'm actually lacking the chain guard for this yet. It didn't come with one when I got it, but the gear to power the rear tire is on the inside, so I think I'm going to be just fine to sling one right here too. Well guys, I do believe I've earned myself a beer. Keep test fitting the engine, like for whatever reason all of a sudden it's not going to fit, but the exhaust does bolt in. Like I said, I have to do some sort of bracket back here so it doesn't rattle and make a bunch of noise. I'll probably just do something right on the top of it there. It still might rattle. You could probably just bend that down or something. We'll figure it out. But we got another section of spiderwebs done there and there. Super happy with the way everything's turning out so far. Boy howdy, that was a lot of work. That was a lot of work. Now I have to turn around, do the same thing to the other freaking side. And despite how much I love this and how cool it is, I don't wanna. That's a lot of work. Plus I have to try and make, like, this was all just like freestyle and just kind of fitting it in where I thought it was gonna look cool and good and everything. And the other side has to at least like half-ass match this side a little bit. Now I did discuss earlier that the engine overhangs the left side more than the right side. Also, I just realized I'm going to be able to put fuel in here. So we might have to do something completely different spiderweb wise on that side. Wow, that is boring. Okay? But like I said, we got to be able to put fuel in this thing. And like I said, it's wider. So the web's going to have to come out. Maybe we just won't come out as far. Maybe I'll just shoot a guy to right before the tank and we'll loop back this way instead of going super wide where it might be in the way of your leg. Maybe. Probably not. We'll see. But then otherwise, there's nothing preventing me from doing what I did on this side. We should be good there. Should be good there. But actually kind of looks like, if you just kind of look, looks like we can just go like one set shorter, basically. And I think we'll be okay. Got the other side, fuel tank side, knocked out. And not that, that's why I did it this way, but I can get the engine in with the spiderweb in place. But the reason for doing it different is because, as I explained, the tank on the side of the engine sticks out more on this side than the other side. But I also need to be able to get fuel in it. So that's why I didn't come down on this side as far as I did on the other side. I still think it looks super dope. It's gonna let you get fuel and out of easily. I'm gonna end up having to replace this tank. What the fuck is in there? Okay. I don't know what that is. I knew I heard something going, moving around in there, but what in the actual fuck? What? What is wrong with the dude who used to own this damn thing? What a fucking idiot. Moving along, guys. So we got this one done on the fuel tank side. And now, oh, of course my hose clamp is gonna mess up while I'm recording. Why wouldn't it? Get off of there. Jeez. I wonder if I got some weld slag in there. I wonder if that's what happened. Maybe. Hose clamps just temporarily hold shit in place until I can get it mounted. And we can kind of wiggle it around, turn the rod, because this one's kind of cutting at an angle a little bit. And but right there's where I want it. Hey, that's more good. Wow. So that's all. Sorry, I got you on the tripod. That's all we're doing. Just tighten the hose clamp a little bit. And then I'll drill my holes, cut my little half washers, start making a web happen. And wow. That is all webbed out, my friends. Now I need to go through and do, there's some spots I got to weld a little more good, and I'm going to take everything off and weld it from the back as well. I'm going to go through, probably hit it with a wire wheel, maybe grind it down just a little bit, but I'm not going to drag you along for that because it's boring. I don't even want to do that. Why would you want to watch that? But that's about where I'm going to wrap the episode up. I think I'm going to put the engine in it and maybe like half-ass set it up where it looks like a bike. So, I don't know, I really want to put different tires on it. I really hate these things. I am not familiar with mini bike tires enough. If you are, hit me up in the comment section. They make like white walls and some smoothie tires and stuff, and that would be what I prefer. Even if I can't go white walls, I want something shorter and something that's like a smoothie instead of these big like mud tires. I hate them. So if you are familiar with mini bikes and tire sizes and shit like that and what's interchangeable, let me know, because I have no idea. But I don't want to run those tires. I super don't. But yeah, I'm going to mock this thing up real quick, and then we're going to get this episode wrapped up. And here we be, guys. I'm really happy. Look at that. That fucking web almost follows the line of that chain. I'm going to have to either make or acquire a chain guard for this thing yet. We will see how that goes later. But I'm super excited about the route this is headed. I had no intentions on this. I was going to paint this thing and just bang it back together, and next thing I know, I'm 2 days into making an exhaust and spiderwebbing the whole thing out and taking it into bare metal. But it's kind of how things go in the chop shop. It just is what it is. But I am unsure about keeping the tank. It's going to have to be tilted just a little bit to clear the spider webs. Maybe we can move it. I don't know. We'll see. I also have an idea for the seat. I have a couple ideas for the seat. We will see. But that is where we are going to wrap this episode up, guys. Maybe I'll fire it up one last time. I'll fire it up so I can hear my dual exhaust one more time. It actually idles quite nice. I dig it. I like the way it just kind of quietly purples like a Subaru at idle. Sounds good. That, my friends, so we're gonna wrap this episode up because my garage is a melting mess from the truck thawing out. Everything's wet. Big ass truck's in the way. And as you see, I made a hell of a mess on my workbench, which I didn't need help with because I got this thing tore apart too. You know, recently worked on that thing. Poor old Sandy sitting there in the corner. But yeah, it's a mess in here. It's cold. I need a shower. And that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Tell your mom, your dad, at this point in time, your aunt, your uncle. I don't care. We're trying to grow, guys. Spread the word. I'm out.